What's up, everybody? Welcome back to a video. Hopefully y'all had a cool little week and everything. Let me know what y'all been up to. Let me know what y'all been doing. But today I'm bringing y'all a video, and this video right here is gonna answer a very important question that a lot of people be asking me. And that question is, do you prefer to live on base or off base? And I'm just gonna let you guys know, obviously, the biggest important difference between both of them. And then depending on your situation, you could figure out, hey, this one's better for me, or it's better for me to live on base, you know what I'm saying? So if you guys are new to the channel, welcome to my channel. Subscribe to my videos and everything. Just sit back, relax, and just hear me talk. Alright, let me start off on base or off base first. I'll start off with off base, alright? So, you know what I'm saying? You sick of the dorms, you tired of living on base, you tired of hearing them jets fly, waking you up early in the morning, and you decide that it's, about time for you to go off base, you know what I'm saying? Get your BAH. BAH is probably the most important thing, most important reason why people live off base. And if you don't know what BAH is, it is pretty much the military will pay you a certain amount of money to live off base, you know what I'm saying? So essentially, you're living off base for free, pretty much. So I'm gonna break it down for y'all. Alright, so living in Vegas, if I was to be like, alright, let's get an apartment, and I find me an apartment, right? Don't quote me on this, but I think the BAH that you get is like 1,800 something, right? So 1,800, that's our BAH for living in Vegas. Let's say I find an apartment off base and my rent is only 1,400, you know what I'm saying? And the BAH is what they give me per month to, be able to live off base and not have to worry, is 1,800. So obviously you do the math, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have money left over, Or obviously if you find a good spot that's like 2K, and then obviously, the BAH is 1,800, and you got to come out of pocket with just a couple $100s. But I think it's pretty cool, you know what I'm saying, to live off base, because if you're tired of just like having to be surrounded by military people every day, you want to be able to live off base, go to the gym across the street, see all these different type of people that are not in the military, then living off base is just amazing. And honestly, I'm thinking about moving off base because I want that BAH. I'm telling y'all, the BAH is probably the best thing that y'all can have. Like, you literally get paid to live off base. Alright, so pretty much the BAH is allowing you to live off base. So, let me think. And it all really depends on where you're at. So if you're in California and you're getting BAH, like I said, don't quote me on this because I'm just popping up a random number. But let's say the BAH is 3K to live out there. You know what I'm saying? All you gotta do is either find you a spot that's under 3K and you living for free. Or this is what a lot of people do. Let's say you have family out here in Vegas, right? And you're pretty young, like probably like 19 or 18 or whatever. Some people will actually go back, live with their family for a couple years, and then they pocket that BAH. So you living with your family, right? Now you living for free, and you still get in that BAH because you live off base. So you get in the 1,800 every month, additionally to whatever, your rank is or whatever, how much you're getting per check. So that's one way to go about it. Another easy finessing way to go about it is, let's say me and you, let's say we roommates, right? And we find a spot off base or whatever. And like I said, let's say the total rent is only maybe like for, I don't know, maybe like 3,000 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? We both got our BAs because we both in the military. So, we could just split that. Or you could possibly get you 3 roommates or 4 roommates to get a house. And I know some people who's only paying maybe about 400, per person per rent, just because they all came together. So you do it like that, and that's a great way to be able to get extra money. So, you know what I'm saying, to wrap up living off base, the main reason why people want to live off base, I'm telling you, is for that BAH, that extra money that you get. Because if you live on base, they take away all your BAH, so you're not getting no extra money to live on base. So if you live off base, you're getting extra money, and you're away from, all military stuff. Because I ain't gonna lie, sometimes you want to break, unless you really love the military, you know what I'm saying? You might love being surrounded by military stuff every day. But if you me or just, anybody else or whatever, when you go home, when you're done with work, you don't want to have to think of military stuff. You want to be able to live your normal life, right? You know what I'm saying? See the neighbors that just You know what I'm saying? To just do any type of thing and then come back. You know, you don't want to feel like you're stuck in that military world. So a lot of people, they tend to live off base just because of that. But I'm telling you, the biggest reason, if you ask anybody why you chose to live off base, it's like, they're gonna be like, because I ain't want my BH taken. All right, so now for the people that want to live on base, you know what I'm saying? All right, so with my situation, I wanted to live off base, but you know, my wife, and now she's pregnant. One thing about her, she kind of influenced me to live on base is because she wanted to feel safe, you know? Like, for example, we came to Vegas, right? We have never lived in Vegas before, you know what I'm saying? If I was to pick a random apartment somewhere and that spot is in a terrible neighborhood, I might not even know at the time, and I could just be thirsty just to get out the dorms. I might pick the first good spot for the cheapest amount of money, you know what I'm saying? And then, I don't know, people could be like shooting or your car get broken into, you know what I'm saying? And now you stuck in that area, you know, and you don't know nothing about it. So with me living on base, you know, it was a way for my girl, you know, to feel safe because she can go outside at like 2 in the morning and just like walk around to the BX or whatever, you know what I'm saying? She can do all that stuff. And I'll say 99.9% of the time, nothing's gonna happen to you. I always say that 99.9% because I don't know, like, hey, there could be some crazy people on base, but it is so unlikely that, you know, they're pretty crazy. Pretty much everybody lives on bases, you know, pretty sane. So she likes, you know, the feeling that, you know, we can raise our family on base and everything, and then we don't have to worry about nothing, you know. That's probably one of the greatest things too. And mind you, my girl, she worked at Starbucks on the BX, so you know, the BX is like our main little store, mall, or whatever you want to call it. And she only has to drive like a minute. Like if you see like where our house is, all she gotta do is leave the driveway, make a left, make a right, and then there's the, you know, the mall right there. And for her, she don't like driving anyway. So if we was to live off base, she would have to adapt to that Vegas way of driving and all that stuff like that. People don't drive crazy on base because they ain't trying to get no ticket. So the fact that she only has to like, she could leave out maybe like 5 minutes before she gotta be at work, I don't recommend that, but that's something she do. It's so easy just for her to drive down the street, make a right, and she's already at work, you know what I'm saying? Rather than you living off base and she gotta get on the highway and then do all this stuff like that. So for her, I would say, you know, obviously me too, it's about being safe because, you know, here I ain't gotta worry about my car getting broken into. I can leave my car unlocked. I won't, but you can leave it unlocked and it won't get broken into, you know what I'm saying? I don't know who will leave their doors unlocked, but you can do that and no one really gonna come inside and just like, you know what I'm saying? But I don't recommend that. I don't care where you live. You're not catching me leaving all my stuff just unlocked. But that's, you know, that's the biggest thing, being safe and being close to everything. One good thing about being close to everything is, like I said, the mall is only a minute away from me. The commissary, which is our grocery store, that's like 2 minutes away from me. Everything is right there. You know, everything that I need, you know what I'm saying? I don't have to go off base if I don't want to. We have a gas station. We have Burger King, Popeyes, Qdoba, you know what I'm saying? I don't know who eats at Arby's, but we have Arby's, you know. We have a grocery store, you know what I'm saying? There's spots where you can get your haircut, but I don't recommend that because you would never catch me getting a haircut at the BX. And unless I was in tech school because I had no choice. But everything you need to survive is all, you know what I'm saying, on base. So technically, if you live on base, you just don't want to go outside and be in Vegas. You don't have to, you know. So yeah, so that's pretty much the, you know, the good thing about living on base, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm telling you, like for example, like if you got a wife or you got a husband or you got kids, you know, maybe for the first year when you first get into a new duty station, I would recommend living on base, you know, that way you can get an idea about how the city is. And then when you find that good spot, I would probably recommend moving out just because you get a BH and stuff like that. I would not recommend. Now, unless you're single, if you're single and it's your first duty station, then I'll tell you to go off base because one, you can't even get on base anyway, unless you're married or you got a kid, you know what I'm saying? So, but if you got a family and you want to live off base, I would honestly recommend living on base first just because like you want to make sure you don't move into no crazy neighborhood because one of my friends, we both applied to the same house same apartment. The apartment complex, it looked amazing. But for some reason, I got denied in the apartment. I don't know why. Me and him the same rate, make the same amount of money, but they didn't accept me. And he got accepted into the apartment. So You know, obviously he was happy about that. And I was kind of bummed out about that, but I was like, maybe there's something else that's in store for me. And I ended up getting a house on base, you know. But a couple months later, he was telling me that his wife, she got her car broke into in that neighborhood. And then I was reading stuff online about that same neighborhood too, and they was like, there was a shooting like a year ago or something like that, like a crazy shooting too. And that's just something you're gonna have to deal with, you know, being in an apartment. Because you don't know who's outside, whatnot too. And now he wants to live on base, so he applied to live on base, and he's getting out of that spot. You know, just because he's, you know, his wife wants to feel like she's safe without having to worry about if her stuff get broken into. So I mean, hey, you know what I'm saying? It all depends on what you want to do. Do you want to like live off base and get that extra pay, which is amazing, but then you got to worry about, you know, if you live in a terrible neighborhood or not, or do you want to live on base, don't get that extra pay, but everything is so close around you, you barely have to leave, you know what I'm saying? Gas station, all that's right there, and you feel safe at night too. Because like, it's the type of safe where, you know what I'm saying, like you see how in the movies, how they got the white people jogging early in the morning, you know what I'm saying, like they're like, hello, you know what I'm saying, like they're jogging. It's the type of neighborhood you do that in, you know what I'm saying, like you could jog all the way around base and just feel extremely safe. You ain't gotta worry about nothing. Obviously, you're not gonna do that, you know, at a random city you never heard of, because you might jog and not everybody asking you where you from, you know what I'm saying, like, come on, honestly, you gotta be street smart. But that's just the main thing. But like I said, the only downfall living on base is that 1,800, they take all that away. Cause when I first got married, I was living in the dorms for 2 months still, because my wife, she wasn't with me yet, she was back home. And I was getting that BAH even though I was living in the dorm still, because of her living like off base. So that extra $2K on my check, that was so beautiful, man. I ain't gonna lie, I missed that too. Every, you know what I'm saying, couple of weeks you get an extra $2K. And then the minute I signed this housing contract and got this house right here, they took away all that. So now I'm making the same amount as the A1C that's not even married or don't got kids or nothing like that, just because I live on base. So that money situation is terrible, but then again, it's like you live on base, you ain't gotta pay for nothing with your house. The only thing you gotta pay for is like your own personal stuff, like phone, car, internet, you know, food, you know what I'm saying? So house, you ain't gotta pay for none of that. And mind you, it's a 2-bedroom house and it looks pretty nice too. But I'm thinking about moving off base just because I want to have that extra money. And now that I'm about to have a kid soon, I want to get a 3-bedroom apartment, you know, or maybe a 3-bedroom house, but I want to get like a 3-bedroom, so that way, you know, obviously we have our room, and you know what I'm saying, my son has his room, and then I have my game and YouTube room still. But yeah, hopefully that wasn't too much of a long video. I just wanted to drop that video and drop knowledge to y'all if y'all are debating on living off base or on base. You know what I'm saying? To wrap up the summary, like I said, if you're single, your first duty station, you obviously have to live off base because you have to be married or have kids to live on base, but nothing's wrong with that. Just, you know what I'm saying? My biggest advice for y'all is to make sure you know about the neighborhood and everything too, because I don't want y'all to tell me y'all moved off base and then y'all got robbed the first day checking the mail. You know what I'm saying? But if you have a family, a wife and a kids, I would recommend living on base for now or whatever, just because, you know, your wife won't feel a whole lot safe, you know, and you ain't got to worry about like nothing bad happening. Also, we do have schools out here on base, but I hear the wait list is so long and it's like a private school too, so I'm just gonna, like, obviously when my kid get old enough, he's gonna go to a regular public school. But I ain't trying to make the video too long for y'all. I appreciate y'all clicking on my video. Thank you guys all. Continue to run up the views and likes and everything. And if you have any type of more questions or whatever, leave a comment on any one of my videos and I'll try to react to all of them or comment back on all of them. But until then, let me know what else type of video you guys want to do. And I'll talk to y'all later.